Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Honda CR-V Sport L.
And a big thanks to Sam and Joe at Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Sam or Joe.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the CR-V has been Honda's compact crossover SUV since 1995. That's when the first generation was released. The 6th generation CR-V that you see here was released for the previous model year in 2023. And for 2024, we see a couple of changes, mainly being the new Sport L trim that we have here. Previously for 2023, the hybrid CR-V was only available in 2 trims, the Sport and the Sport Touring. And this all-new L trim separates the two, featuring leather seats, a power passenger seat, front and rear parking sensing, memory driver's seat, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 2-inch larger touchscreen, and 2 additional speakers compared to the Sport trim. For a base price of $36,000, what else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your flickering LED daytime running lights. They're not actually flickering in real life, just the way the camera picks up the LEDs. We also have full LED headlamps with a high and low beam and this beautiful meteorite gray metallic paint color. Really shines in the Florida sun. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of sun today, but even in the shade, it's a very beautiful color. As you mentioned, the L gets front and rear parking sensing, no front-facing camera. The Honda badge houses your advanced safety features. I like the gloss trim for this grille and a very clean overall front end design. Definitely a thumbs up for Honda for this all-new 6th generation CR-V. Without question, the best looking CR-V to date. The wheel and tire setup. All hybrid trims get an upgraded wheel and tire setup. Just like the Sport, we get black rims. These are 18-inch rims wrapped in Hankook Kinergy GT all-season tires. Dimensions are 235/60 R18. So with the 60 series sidewall, the ride quality should be really good in the Sport L trim. A little bit of black plastic cladding surrounding the wheel well, a little bit of plastic cladding for the rocker panel side skirt area, but it's functional, and with this meteorite gray metallic, it actually looks very aggressive. We also have black contrasted mirrors with LED turn signals on them, black contrasted roof rails too. We don't get a black roof, but we do get a sunroof up top, a little bit of shiny chrome surrounding the window trim, blacked out B and C pillars. The glass fills up the entire frame, and we get blind spot monitoring on the glass. We can check out the window sticker real quick on this 2024 CR-V Hybrid 2-wheel drive Sport L. There's also an available all-wheel drive, but this here is just a 2-wheel drive. The standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. Really well loaded with standard features for the price point, $36,350. No additional features. Even this paint color comes standard, no additional charge for it. $1,300 for the destination and handling charge totals us out at $37,645. Fuel economy, this is why you go with the hybrid. You get an average 40 mpgs, 43 in the city, 36 on the highway. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Nothing out rear, wouldn't be expected with vehicle in this segment. We get a push to open gas cap with easy fill, and we get a naturally aspirated 2-liter engine here with this hybrid setup. So you can throw in 87 octane fuel and you'll be perfectly fine. Same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. We have full rear parking sensing too, LED taillights, but the turn signals, as you see, are halogen with an LED reverse light too. Shout out Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. CR-V chrome badge with a hybrid right underneath outlined in blue and a Honda badge in the center. I wish the rear wiper was integrated better with the spoiler, but not a big deal. We can take a squat back here, get a good look at the dual exhaust cutouts, but only the right exhaust is an actual exhaust tip. Hopefully you guys can pick it up on camera, whereas this is just a faux cutout. Anyway though, we can fire up this 2-liter hybrid setup, see if we can rev it up, and I'll catch right back with you. All right guys, unfortunately we couldn't rev up this 2-liter hybrid setup, but here you have it, cranking out 204 horsepower and a beefy 247 pound-feet of torque. Available either in 4-wheel drive or front-wheel drive like we have here. Made it to an eCVT transmission, enough to get this about 3,800 pound SUV to 60 in the low to mid 7-second range. So definitely a decent performer for the segment, especially considering you can average 40 mpgs. I like the location of the washer fluid. The hydraulic struts are also appreciated. We can shut this hood right down. If we didn't mention, the intake sucks the air in directly from the front of this hood area, and I'm sure there's an air filter involved somewhere along that setup. We can walk around this 2024 CR-V Sport L one more time and take a step inside and see what we get on this new trim that separates the regular Sport from the top of the line Touring. So we'll set these headlights back to auto so the car's not yelling at me. But up top we get soft touch, same thing for the center area, gushy soft leather for the armrest, orange contrast stitching, 4-window auto on touch, some full carbon trim above this aluminum door handle, 2-person memory seats for the driver, that's specific for the Sport L. Storage down below is solid. You'll fit a foot long horizontally, a 6-inch sub, maybe a 24-ounce bottle, but it's not shaped the best for a bottle. I'm sure you can still shove it in there with no problem. Speakers, we get 2 additional speakers compared to the Sport. The regular Sport gets a 6-speaker audio system. The Sport L gets an 8-speaker audio system. However, the top of the line Touring gets a 12-speaker Bose, which sounds significantly better than both. The seats are also specific to the Sport L. We get these leather seats with perforation in the center, orange contrast stitching, fully adjustable 2-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Taking a step inside though, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. First thing we notice is the steering wheel. It is very thick, solid 10-2 bolstering notch. I like the orange contrast stitching. The 9-3 feels great in your hands. Really a huge thumbs up for the design. Reminds me a lot of the Civic Si. The horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, not very loud or aggressive, but people should still be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do not get dual panes, but it's a pretty thick single pane of glass. Should still be a very quiet overall ride. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have our volume and skip controls, home and voice commands, and adjust the infotainment with these buttons. On the right side, we have a radar cruise control adjustments and active steering. Paddle shifters too, they adjust the regenerative braking, I believe. I don't think they adjust the gears. We'll check it out once we take it out for a drive. The adjustments for the infotainment, as you mentioned, you can adjust between trip A, trip B, press the home screen, see range and fuel, speed and time, audio, phone, navigation, driver attention, seatbelts, maintenance, safety support, and no content. You can also adjust the brightness, gauge display settings, the warnings, and power flow. Range and fuel too, that's probably my personal favorite to look at all times, so we'll leave it there. There's no tach, but you have a power indicator and an EV indicator for the regen braking. We have a digital speedo in the center and an analog speedometer on the right side going to 140 miles per hour. Temperature, mileage on the vehicle, and a digital displayed fuel level right down beneath. The stocks have a very satisfying click to them. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, no rain sensing wipers, but the intermittent stock is right there in the center. We also have a rear wiper adjustment all the way on the right side. The steering wheel's tilt and telescoping, it's not power, wouldn't be expected. We have a power opening lift gate, we turn off the traction control, and I like these air vent adjustments. Also remind me a lot of the new Civic. The CR-V carries over a lot of the Civic features while having an all new, completely unique body style. Touchscreen, we get 2 additional inches compared to the regular Sport. Just like the Touring, we get a 9-inch touchscreen. You get all apps, phone, FM, Bluetooth audio, smartphone integration, power flow, Sirius XM, trip computer, general settings, vehicle settings, USB, AM, system updates, clock, Honda Link, compass, smart shortcuts, and display mode. We don't get integrated navigation here on the Sport L. You gotta go to the top Touring to get that. But we still have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so can't really complain. My personal favorites to look at all times would be the power flow, so we'll leave it there. The volume dial has a very satisfying resistance to a very high quality feel. Hazards in the center of these really high quality, cool looking air vents with some faux carbon trim beneath that. Dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, engine start stop, USB-A and USB-C port, 12 volt, good spot for a radar detector, wireless charging pad exclusive to the Sport L, not standard on the regular Sport, with plenty of storage surrounding it. Drive mode selector, we have Sport, Normal, Econ, and Snow mode. We'll start the review off in Normal, check out Sport, maybe check out Econ too, and just see what the differences are. Behind that, we have hill descent control, L-Tron parking brake with brake hold. The gear selector controls the eCVT transmission. We'll check out the backup camera. Pretty high resolution, we get guidance lines and trajectory, and a hum, because since it's an EV, no one's gonna be able to hear the engine running. So if you're backing up, the person's not gonna be paying attention and could very possibly get doofed by the back of your car. We have different views too, wider view and an over-the-top trailer hitch view. This is nice for the city to really maximize your space in front of the car behind you. You can also adjust all the settings for the camera itself. My personal favorite is this regular screen that it comes with. We'll throw right back into park. Behind that, we have 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles in there. A little bit of additional storage, nice for a wallet and some keys. I'll throw my wallet and keys and demonstrate it for you. Nice. We also have a key and a cup holder for the actual CRV that we're driving here. The armrest is gushy soft leather with orange contrast stitching. The storage space, we'll check it out, is massive. Definitely top of the segment for the compact SUVs. You'll fit 12 1-liter bottles in here. Maybe not 12, but at least 8 to 10. Super spacious center console. The glove box, we can open it up. It is damped very well, not lined in felt, and also not very large. This makes up for the massive glove box. You'll still fit maybe 20 license plates in there. You'll fit a pair of shoes if you're under a size 12. The rear view mirror is basically frameless. It's auto dimming, no garage home link settings on it, no garage home link settings anywhere in this SUV. I'm sure it's an option, just not available on this Sport L. The interior lights are LED. We can open up this sunroof. It's not a panoramic moonroof, but it's still nice to get a sunroof, see if it goes out any further. It does not. But basically to the end of the front row, we'll poke our way out of here. It is a beautiful day today in Port Richey, Florida. Sunny and 86 according to this 2024 CRV Sport L. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat. We leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But other than that, we'll hop out back and do exactly that. So taking a step out back, up top we get hard plastic just like the rest of the CRV trims. The Touring, I believe, also gets hard plastic out back, so I'm not going to knock the Sport L. Same faux carbon trim, aluminum door handle, but we get that gushy soft leather armrest with orange contrast stitching. The rear windows are auto one touch just like up front. You'll fit a 6-inch sub vertically, maybe even a foot long vertically, but horizontally that separator will probably hold you back a little bit. You'll fit a big gulp in there though. That's a massive size cup holder, additional CRV speaker. The rear seats are still that leather orange contrastly stitched with perforation in the center. You can also recline these seats. You can't slide them back and forth. There's of course no third row either. But legroom wise, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 4 or 5 inches of knee room. Headroom, I have maybe about an inch. This cutout kind of helps, but the cutout's also not very drastic. So compared to the Mazda CX-5, I have about an inch of knee room, about the same amount of headroom. But compared to like the CX-50, it's about the same, maybe a tad bit less. So maybe Honda will grow the CRV even further in the future. Probably not, because the Pilot at this point isn't a whole lot bigger. Compared to the first generation Pilot, I believe this CRV is actually about the same exact size. We get rear air vents back here, 2 USB-C port, a map pocket behind the passenger seat, nothing behind the driver. The armrest, you have to jab your hand into it, but they designed it in a way where you don't have to really jab into it. Nice design, nice angle, and a nice leather padding to it. You can also fit 2 arms outside of these cup holders. You'll fit 20, maybe 24-ounce bottles in there. Shutting this thing right up. The interior lights are LED. Awesome. The armrest, or the grab handle, has a hook for a suit or a dress. Nothing going on the passenger side. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat. We also have an additional tweeter speaker for this 8-speaker system. Taking a step out back, we'll check out the cargo space and then take this 2024 CRV Sport L out for a drive. The Sport badge is also blacked out, if I didn't mention. Pressing the button underneath the Honda badge, we have an electrically opening lift gate and a super low floor. Definitely top of the segment when it comes to floor height. Again, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall. My knees about the same level as the step-in. So if you have older or smaller pets, they'll have no problem hopping back here. Massive cargo space. The way they use the boot of this area, whatever you like to call it, they truly maximize it. The wheel well cutouts go out basically all the way out to the fenders, so you'll fit a golf bag horizontally here with no problem. This is why you buy a CRV. It is the cargo space for the compact segment. Definitely top of the pack. If you fold those rear seats down 60-40 split, I'd expect you to fit a 60, maybe a 65-inch TV back here. If they did a better job with those wheel wells, you could probably fit a 75, 80-inch TV like you would with a mid-size to full-size SUV. But since those wheel wells do protrude quite a bit, it'll be tough for the larger TVs to really fit, but it's still massive. You can take a step back, press this button up top to shut the trunk, and it gives you a second, so if you got grocery bags in your hands, you're not gonna get duped in the head. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2024 Honda CR-V Sport L Hybrid. It's a beautiful SUV, super spacious on the inside, and with this hybrid setup, we got a pretty beefy power plant with over 200 horsepower and almost 250 pound-feet of torque. And speaking of that, let's take this 2024 CR-V Sport L Hybrid out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Honda CR-V Sport L. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the steering feels really good in this SUV. I mentioned before the steering wheel reminds me of the Civic Si. So does the steering feel itself. Really sporty platform. And we just have front wheel drive here, so probably won't put the power down nearly as well as the all-wheel drive models, but a little bit of throttle. No, it still puts it down pretty well. And the eCVT has a pretty quick shift to it. Hopefully we'll still have a chance to take a step out here, even though they're doing some road work. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we can lean into it a little bit, about half throttle. Woo! Yeah, so it doesn't blow you away, but you can really feel the naturally aspirated origins of this SUV. It doesn't feel turbocharged with that immediate like shove in the mid-range, but this hybrid setup really helps it get out of its own way in those lower RPMs. And once you get in the top RPMs, this Honda 4-cylinder engine revs just like a Honda 4-cylinder engine up top. It has really decent amounts of power. Taking a step out here, maybe we can throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. Yep, they're still stopped, throwing it in. Body rolls limited on the gas. Ooh. And I like this eCVT. It gives you nice crisp, fake shifts. I know they're not real shifts, but it makes the vehicle feel more conventional than it is. We'll try it out in sport mode. We immediately raise our revs. Throttle sensitivity a little bit better. Yeah, that was about a third throttle and it picked up speed pretty good. We'll try to slow down a little bit. We have people behind us, so we're not going to come to a complete stop. But from pretty slow speeds on the gas, woo, yeah. And in sport, we have that nice artificial sound to go along with it too. I know a lot of you guys may not be the biggest fans of it, but it's only the sound that we get in sport. We don't get that sound in normal mode. We don't get that sound in eco mode. So if you don't like it, you simply don't be driving in sport. And I'm sure there's some settings that you can adjust that will make it, whereas you can turn off that noise even in sport mode. But taking a step back out here, as soon as you get the chance, looks like we have the chance. Whoop, on the gas. Whoop. Yeah, this thing can move, guys. It's definitely not a slouch. We'll try out these paddles real quick. Yeah, so this affects your regenerative braking. So right now we have the regenerative braking in its most aggressive setting. Or maybe now it's in the most, nope, now it doesn't even exist. So the left paddle shifter makes it more aggressive. The right paddle shifter makes the regenerative braking less aggressive. So you may not like regenerative braking because of the feel, but with this hybrid setup, it does recharge the battery a little bit, so you'll get a little bit more range with it on. The downside of it is every time you let go of the gas pedal, if you are used to driving gas on, gas off, you're gonna be slowing down significantly. Like right now, we're not touching the gas pedal, we're not touching the brake pedal, and we are slowing down quicker than I would like for this red light. We'll see if we can even come to a complete stop. It does not look like it, so you do have to use the brake to come to a complete stop. But this will do a great job just with the regenerative braking of slowing you down, even from high speeds. All right, guys, light throttle, about quarter. Still feels very strong, even with just a quarter throttle. And it's such a smooth ride, even at higher speeds. The ride quality is so good. The sound isolation with just single pane windows is so surprisingly good. I was not expecting this trim to feel this premium. I remember being super impressed with the CR-V when I drove it last year. But this Sport L trim may be the trim to get. You get just about every feature you could possibly want or need out of the Touring. The sound system's not quite as good, but everything else is just about the same. And you're saving $2,000 to $3,000 at least. All right, guys, so we can try out another high-speed run. We're not gonna beat it up, just getting up to highway speeds and taking it easy. So here we go, highway speeds. This is the wind noise. Just about non-existent. The road noise is super quiet, even with these Hankook tires. I'm not the biggest fan of Hankook tires. I don't believe the Touring gets Hankooks. I think they get something like Goodyear's or maybe even Michelin's. But these Hankook tires are not known for their quiet ride, but these are still incredibly quiet. That says a lot about the sound isolation that Honda gave this vehicle overall. That even with less premium tires, this vehicle still feels top-notch premium. We'll try one more real world turning radius at a little bit higher speed. Body roll stays limited on the gas. Whoop, a little bit of a chirp, but pretty planted for just front wheel drive. Yeah, this thing can move. We'll try it out real quick in econ mode and then wrap things up. In econ mode, the throttle gets just about non-existent. I'm stepping on it about halfway and we're not even really going anywhere. But you look down and you are still moving pretty quickly. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a fuel-efficient 5-passenger SUV, you don't want to spend 40,000 bucks. You don't even want to spend 35, but you will sacrifice 1,000 or 2 to get a really nice vehicle. This is that vehicle that you should sacrifice those $2,000, maybe $3,000 for. You get every feature you could possibly want or need. You get heated seats, leather seats, contrast stitched leather all throughout this interior, really good steering feel, great driving dynamics, sufficient space for 5 full-size adults, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging pad, a nice crisp eCVT transmission, and you're averaging over 40 mpgs while still doing 0 to 60 in the mid 7-second range. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out this all-new 2024 Honda CR-V Sport L Hybrid. And a big thanks to Joe at Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Joe. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.